Guys, let's get a podcast. We got Harinder Sekhon, right?
Yep.
He is the world record holder for a seated box jump and one-legged box jump.
Yeah.
He used to play cricket for the national team.
Yeah.
Couple of years. You've always been athletic.
Yeah, man. Ever since my school days, can't remember doing anything else besides football, basketball, badminton. I've had the opportunity.
Sports is your life since you were young.
It's definitely my life, but maybe it's not who I am.
What do you mean by that?
Because like on the side, I like to do like other things, especially like with my fiance, like help out underprivileged kids and things like that.
Oh, charity work.
Yeah, like try to make that like spend a lot of energy doing that as a forefront as well. And as you know, because sometimes with sports, like now as a jumper, things can get quite hectic and too heavy in the head with performance and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
sure.
it could just like shut me down. Like.
Especially if like you've been competing at the highest level for years and years and years. Yeah, I would imagine it can be straining lah.
Yeah, it's
on the mental. Yeah, dude, let's rewind lah. Okay, so you were a kid growing up. What was the first few sports like you remember getting into?
Definitely football and basketball.
Started following EPL? Just
yeah.
football in general?
Unfortunately, a Man United fan.
Okay, yeah. Was a Chelsea fan. Yeah, last time.
Right.
Yeah. No more. I got no more attachment to Chelsea. Last time I watched, I still remember the last time I watched Chelsea was they won the UEFA Champions League.
Right. Good time.
Which was 2012, right?
Right.
Yeah. Was it Mourinho in charge that time? If you could remember.
I'm not sure. I think there was another guy like Avram Grant or something.
No.
I think he came in for a short stint. Someone that came in for a short stint and got lucky with them, I think.
Dude, you know what's crazy? That's 12 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I should never talk about football ever again. Yeah, okay. So playing football, and then you got into cricket for a couple of years, man. That was, I guess you were most serious about cricket.
Yeah, because I got into cricket in school because I had friends who were from India. And it just so happened one weekend I went over to their house to stay over. And Saturday morning, the dad comes banging on the door and he says, "Guys, you all have a cricket match." And I didn't know anything about cricket back then.
Same here.
But he was like, "Get ready," because there's 3 of those boys in the house. And he was like, get ready, we got to leave now. And I was just a kid.
Live match, is it?
Yeah, like an actual cricket match. And I was like, what do I do? Like, I was just 12 or 13 years old. I was like, uncle, like, what do I do? He's like, "We got no time. You're coming with us. Just come."
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'll just watch the match, that kind of thing. And went to the ground. It was Klaman. And went there. The coach says, "Yeah, we got a match and everything." Just so happened, he's like, "We're 1 player short." And my friend's dad was like, "Oh, Harinder can play." And I'm just like, what?
Let me get this straight. You were 12, right?
I was like 12 or 13 back then.
Yeah, so the cricket match is it like a league?
Oh, it's like, some club league here in Malaysia. It was like at that time, it was like a under 18 or under 15 club thing.
Yeah, but why would he say Harinder can play when you've never played?
Yes, I guess the coach didn't know, but the dad was just like, "Yeah, Harinder can play." And I was like, what? And I'm just a kid, so when a grown-up says something, you just
you listen. They know more than me,
Exactly. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm playing then. So I got the shirt and stuff. I batted last, bowled a little bit, did okay. And then the coach was just like, "Oh, you should come for our sessions every Sunday." Okay. And that's how I got into cricket.
But did you do okay for that first time ever?
I think I did okay for someone that knew jack shit about cricket.
Obviously, you're playing against people that train lah.
Oh, yeah. But I batted last in that game and stuff. I was like...
Bro, I'm going to be honest. I don't know anything about cricket. So it's kind of like... in India, it's kind of like America's baseball, right?
Oh, it's like a religion in India, man. People die for cricket, though.
Yeah. India has also always been the top team, is it?
Yeah, they'll always be top 3 for sure. Like.
Who are the other countries that are...
A good, like... Australia is really good. England's really good. Pakistan's really good. So yeah, it's usually these guys. Even South Africa is really good. West Indies. So there's 5 or 6 are usually always the competitive ones.
I actually want to know. So how do you score points in cricket?
Okay, so you can think of it like baseball. But in baseball, you run like in a diamond sort of circle shape. In cricket, you just run up and down with a partner. So there's only 2 of y'all batting at a time. You hit the ball, and then to get a run or a point, you need to run one. So switch sides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a home run is going back and forth?
A home run is if you smash the ball like into the crowd, you get 6 points or 6 runs. But if you smash the ball...
What do you mean by 6 runs?
So
a point?
6 points, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we call them runs in cricket.
Like, what is 1 run?
1 run is if I hit the ball, but not strong enough to go to the crowd, then we just switch once before the fielders pick up the ball and throw it back in kind of thing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's quite complicated. To learn it, even back then, I didn't know cricket well. To learn how to play and understand it, I had to watch.
So since 12, you were training?
Yeah, 12, 13 years old. Yeah.
When did you get into the national team?
Well, there was always age group stuff. I was always in the mix for like under 15, under 17, under 19 and under 23, not so much because I was at uni. And then when I got back from uni, then yeah, I got into the national senior team and yeah, sort of played a couple of years there.
You went to international school, they didn't have cricket.
No, so me and my friends and all these kids from India mainly used to go to PJ Club and play cricket there.
Yeah, which is where you played the first
That's
time
where
also.
yeah, that was my first club.
But you went overseas and then you came back and then only you joined the national team.
Yeah. So in uni, when I was overseas, I was playing cricket there as well, but
Yeah.
not for Malaysia because I was over there.
You said what, 4 years? 6 years you're playing
Yeah,
for the
about
national team?
4 to 6 years I was in the national pool.
And when was this, like after you graduated?
After I graduated and came back.
Okay, how did you do it?
I did okay. I made my debut against Singapore. That was a very memorable day. Played a handful of games like against Hong Kong, Thailand and things like that. Got to tour around. Got to go to Sri Lanka, play there. Got to go to Dubai.
Oh wow, Dubai. Your only time being the Dubai?
Yeah,
Is
the
it?
only time being in Dubai. But the Dubai thing was great because it was the first time Malaysia, in terms of cricket, participated in a World Cup. So we played in the Indoor Cricket World Cup.
This was 2000 what?
This was 2017 at the end, towards the end of 2017. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I need to get off this cricket topic as soon because I sound so stupid.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so how did you transition to jumping, dude?
Right.
And you're a teacher as well, right?
I'm a teacher as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So after I graduated, I came back and got the teaching gig and just was juggling training and teaching with that.
Training cricket, you mean?
Yeah, training cricket at that time when I came
When
back.
did you come back?
2014, 2015. Like that.
10 years ago, dude. Yeah.
Towards the end of the cricket phase for me, like I would say, like I was just a bit frustrated with like the system and things like that, like or like how things were handled and run during that time.
Talk about it, dude. What do you mean?
Like towards the end of my time in cricket, it was quite frustrating for me because sometimes with selections and things like that, you can work as hard as you want and as you can and perform and things like that, but at the end of the day, it's not your call if you get into the team. So I felt like some things were a bit unfair during that time, and so I put it out there.
Is this something that you've mentioned publicly as well before?
Yeah, this is something I mentioned publicly as well. But before mentioning this publicly, I was I was box jumping as well. So there was once upon a time before COVID, I was playing cricket in the national team. I was doing box jumping. I broke the Malaysian record and one world record, the single leg one, still while being in the national cricket team.
Wow, bro. I want to talk more about like what you were mentioning. How there's like is kind of bias, is it?
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. For me, I felt like it was like that. Like favoritism was a huge thing. I guess I had to deal with.
This is not the first time I've heard this. You know, I've got my brother who has a good friend who plays soccer for national team also, and he mentions that because he's a Chinese guy, he mentions that he hardly gets any opportunities and is mostly a lot of the Malays get all the opportunities to play, but I mean, who knows? I wouldn't know if I mean, maybe he's not performing and all, but
yeah, because that's the thing about team sports that I realized as well. Like, if you want to play a team sport, you're gonna have to put up with a lot of things, but as a jumper, you just hit a mark and you achieve what you get, kind of thing.
And it's very common that some people just excel in team sport and some people excel in individual sports. It's very, very different, man.
And it's also your luck. I mean, who's the coach, who's the manager, and those kind of things. So.
You mean in team sports?
Yeah.
Maybe the coach just likes the other guy better than you. But is that something you notice, like?
Oh yeah. I mean, not even in just a cricket sense. Of course, I'm not the best cricketer in the world.
So, like for example, you've being a national athlete, right? I'm sure you've got buddies from different sports and all that represent different sports, and they would gossip as well, and they would tell you their stories as well and personal experience with like favoritism or biasness.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got some negatives in their journey and positives in their journey as well. But I mean, hey man, like this thing exists everywhere in the world. Yeah, unfortunately.
Hey bro, it exists in companies as well.
Yeah.
Right. In school also, you can say it started off even in school when we were really young. Yeah, some teacher might like this guy better, you know.
Yeah,
that was pretty much the breaking point.
I guess me going public with what was happening with me, I only spoke about me. I didn't speak about other people, but once I went public with what happened to me, then
what happened in like specifically?
Like just not getting selected, like working really hard, like performing, but other people who are, I would say, undeserving would sort of get it. Or
When you say you were performing, are you talking about in training or during the matches?
oh yeah, like there'll be selection matches, there'll be training, there'll be this and stuff. Or there'll be things that would be in the selection criteria. That's like, in order to get selected to play for Malaysia, your yo-yo test. Have you heard of a yo-yo test or anything like that? Beep test.
No.
Beep test. You never heard of beep test?
Beep test is like a fitness test.
Yeah,
is
it's like
it?
a fitness test,
Okay,
like basically like a running up and down kind of thing, and it's a crazy test. But so they'll have things like, in order to get selected for the Malaysian national team, your beep test must be, let's just say 10 or something. Okay, but there'll be guys whose beep test would be like not 10,
way below.
like not even like, let's say 8 even or something, not even that, like something really bad, but they would get in. And then for me or other people, it'd just be like, what was the point of me working hard for this test?
But in their defense, right, did they perform better on the field? You know, because they can't select just based off the beep test, right?
So that's why that's why I said, if you want to play a team sport, you're gonna have to put up with that. You're gonna have to put up with people saying things like, oh yeah, but this guy does this and this guy did that, and then you could be like, but I did this and I did that too, but they've already made up their mind kind of thing. That's why I feel like once you sense that level of like favoritism, you can do as much as you want. It's just not going to happen for you. So I had to make that really difficult decision. Going public wasn't difficult for me, but that difficult decision of switching sports and getting my body now accustomed to something completely different. Did I want to do that and stuff? So yeah, that was a difficult part.
Okay, so officially stopped playing cricket in which year, dude?
I wouldn't say I was officially retired, but I stopped playing. It was just after we got back from COVID. Like after everything opened up, because even during COVID, I was like going for the online stuff and all that. And so
What
I guess
is online stuff? Bro?
there was online fitness sessions and online meetings and stuff.
I
like
thought
that.
online training. I'm
No,
like,
no,
whoa,
no.
how does that work, man?
No. So yeah, I think it was like 2021. Yeah, 2021 was when I.
Because you broke the world record
Yeah.
in box jumping, but you were still playing cricket. So how did you, like, I'm sure you have to allocate time for like training for jumping as well as doing cricket. So how did you actually stumble upon or like even discovering that sport?
Oh, because like, I would say like I discovered it. Well, box jumping has always been in my fitness routine, and I'm into fitness and stuff like that. But in order to play cricket, you don't have to be so fit. Right? Yeah, you don't really have to, like.
No, I mean box jump especially. You don't even have to.
Oh yeah, you don't have to do that at all. Yeah. But so that was always in my fitness routine, and then once COVID hit, I was stuck at home, so I just started like.
Just for example, sorry, like what sort of box jump exercises would you include into your routine, like before you started training seriously?
Oh, I would just see a platform and just jump on it.
Like let's say you're at a normal gym and then they've got boxes and then you just.
Oh right, yeah. So they've got like the 45 cm boxes, the 60 cm boxes. I think at that time I wasn't even doing 60 cm properly, like maybe just 45 cm and things like that.
So you just doing reps and reps just.
Yeah, just like maybe 3 sets, 10 reps kind of thing.
Did you like notice that you were already pretty good at it from the start? Compared to like someone else with your physical attributes. Yeah,
because I as I was doing this box jump thing in my routine, I always wanted to like go higher a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did realize that I'm actually quite okay at box jumping, and so once COVID hit, I did a lot of leg exercises at home. It was just a leg day every day, basically jumping on my bed, on the chair, table, at the kitchen sometimes. Then once COVID was done and we came out that first round, I ordered some plyo boxes on Shopee. And I ordered the full set, like the whole thing. And so that's when I just started taking it to like the next level, I would say.
It's a world record,
Yeah.
Like, how long did it take for you to train for that? I would assume, to break a world record, most people train for like, 6, 7, 8 years at least.
Right.
Right? But how long did it take you, like, this from seriously training box jumping to actually attempting the world record and beating it?
About 8 months, 9 months.
8 months, 9 months?
Yeah, like within a year.
So you definitely were gifted in a way, like...
I think perhaps maybe I found my calling, so to say.
Yeah. Okay, what about like Malaysia in general? Like...
Oh, okay. So yeah, like...
Are there many box jumpers?
Box jumping would be something in their fitness routines, in their gym sessions and stuff. So I would say everyone in track and field in Malaysia, whether they're sprinters, jumpers, throwers and stuff like that, they all would do box jumping as well. So, they're really good as well. and our jumpers are definitely really good. Like now that once I did the second world record, the Malaysian long and triple jump coach got in touch with me, and I was in conversation with him, and he was like, "Yeah, I can definitely make you a better jumper, and if you want to try doing long jump, because box jumping is all well and good, but long jump is like it's a sport,
Yeah.
a recognized actual sport here, and so I was like, yeah, sure. So that's how I started and also got into long jump.
Oh, right now are you
Right now I'm
competing
training as a long jumper. Yeah, I'm competing. So there was like Johor Open, and last year I went for like 4 or 5 opens and competitions and stuff.
Dude, it's so stupid for me to ask whether you're competing because I see on your Instagram and you jump really far
Alright.
for the long
Thanks,
jumps.
man.
Okay, what about in high school? Did you ever
No, I did not even not say know about, but I did not know anything about long jump until
high jump as well? So
until like COVID.
what about but did your school have it? Like let's
No.
say in sports? Oh,
Not in sports day.
Okay, I think most public schools they would have it.
Yeah. But we just had like 100 meter, 400 meter, 800 relay, stuff like that.
So the people that you would be competing would be competing with, like let's say you went for Johor Open.
Yeah.
Yeah. When was this?
Last weekend.
Oh wow. Yeah. So the people you'll be competing with, they're people that have been jumping since high school.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
There are national long jumpers are there and everything.
They went through the usual like, MSSD and then they go MSSM.
Yeah, so they've been through the whole like that proper system and
yeah. And you would say it's definitely uncommon to have someone like you who've only started doing this literally 1 year ago or something like
long
that.
jump 1 year, yeah. 1 year and like 2 months. So.
Okay. You could pretty much say there's no one else in the competition that is like you.
For someone who's had no idea about a sport and then now suddenly doing it, yeah.
I mean, just even in terms of like the period of training that you did leading up, there wouldn't be anyone else like you.
I doubt it. Yeah, no.
Okay, how did you fare in the Johor Open?
Well, my PB is 6.23, which is quite decent from when I first started. So like gradually moving up. So yeah, I mean, if you're able to hit a PB and stuff, that's a good sign.
But in the Johor Open, like, how did you place?
Oh yeah, so I got that PB. That
PB
personal best.
Yeah, I know. I know PB is personal best, but you're competing with all the others. Long jumpers.
Oh, but those guys. I mean, our good national long jumpers like Andre Anura and Datuk Latif Romli and stuff. They are at like I think they got 7 meters. Like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's the let's say world record for their category?
World record I think is around 8.5.
Oh damn, that's insane. Huh?
Yeah.
One-legged box jump and the seated box jump.
Right.
Which was the first world record?
One leg came first. Yeah, so during COVID and stuff, because during COVID I was on Instagram looking at exercises and things like that to do for legs, and a lot of things just turned out to be like single leg exercises, and training one leg is better than training two and things like that. So I sort of built it up during that time. And
like pistol squat.
Oh yeah, like things like that.
That's really hard. Can't do that. The seated box jump, right? If someone was standing and not seated, what is the difference? Like in the records?
Yeah, so in a seated jump, there's less momentum. There's less momentum that you can bring into the jump.
Of course.
And with swinging your arms, you can't really swing your arms as well as if you were standing. Yeah, and the arm swing in this technique, that arm swing really can help you. So propel you.
What was your record for seated?
Seated is 155 centimeters, so 1.5 meters.
Okay, how about standing? What is the world record for standing?
Standing, the world record is 170.
That's the thing. It's only 20
cm.
Yeah, which is quite insane.
Yeah, so like, because now that I'm taking long jump very seriously for the past year, I've been training as a long jumper, and obviously the national team training is intense and insane. So I haven't really had much time to focus on the box jumping. But you're right, man. Like it is in the back of my mind. Like, oh, it's only 20 cm.
It is. So. Have you how is your standing box jump?
Also, the highest I've done is 162, 162. Yeah,
it's about 8 cm
8
away.
cm off. Yeah.
Guys, for people who probably don't know, like this, I'm gonna post a video of it, but this dude jumped on his car right before the podcast just to show us that he can. Yeah, so he jumped up on top of his car. Maybe some of you would have seen the video. Let's say if you are doing long jumping, you train with the long jumping team, or
it's different. So the jumpers are High jump is with their own coach and their own team and all that. Long jump is his own. We have our own coach and my own teammates kind of thing.
How do they split like the training up? Like how is it from strength and conditioning and your cardio and all?
Oh yeah, so I mean in a week we'll have maybe 2 gym sessions and then 3 sessions on the track and then one day
Gym session is lifting.
Yeah,
is it?
a lot of powerlifting kind of things like clean and jerk and
Okay.
stuff like that. A lot of power movements, not really
Explosive stuff.
yeah,
or-
explosive stuff, not squat like
No
stuff.
squats.
I mean there'll be like a half squat, explosive half squat, like kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, not your regular normal kind of
Yeah,
squat.
that is
but-
for aesthetic purposes.
Yeah.
It's different.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess these long jumpers, you would notice they're probably they're not super muscular.
Yeah,
Like, in
but
terms
they're-
of muscle mass,
yeah,
not
but,
really.
but they're very strong. So when we do half squats, we've got to do like 200 plus kg half squats and things like that. Clean about 100 kg.
And how much do you weigh, dude?
I weigh 72.
200 kg half squats, but how many reps? That's already insane lah, to
About
do
three,
one rep.
three in a
Yeah,
set.
dude, I'm 84 kgs and I squat not even 100.
Oh,
Yeah, for reps not even 100, man. I don't really do squats. I think because I've always had back pain,
right. I
lower
was gonna
back
say
pain.
it might be like a mobility thing as well.
No, I just never pushed it like I would do other leg exercises. Squats is one that I've always felt a lot of pain in my lower
Right.
back. Yeah, it's very very common, I guess.
Yeah.
Cardio? What sort of cardio do you have to do?
A lot of sprinting, 40 meter, 60 meter, 80 meter. If we're like in season, so now that since like the opens are coming about a lot of weekends, if you're in season, we do a lot of 40, 60, 80. But if we're in a conditioning phase, so once we're like off season in a conditioning phase,
Yeah.
it's like a session could be 200 meters 8 times, 150 meters 10 times, and stuff
What
like
in
that.
one session?
In one session.
Oh,
yeah.
that's mad. We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But 200 meters is like how far do you guys run before your jump?
It would usually be about 40
Yeah.
to 45 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
200 is
yeah, so that's
way
to like
longer,
get your
yeah.
endurance
Okay.
going kind of thing.
did that in high school but that was just
Oh,
like
okay.
like you know how low was the bar in high school? Basically I was in Form 5 and then they want you to try they want me to try because I was tall, did once and okay, then you're coming from next week's sports day.
Right.
And then I run and I jumped and I got bronze medal and
Right.
the bar in high school was quite low. you know.
Right.
It shows that maybe it's just in my school that.
Right.
What about in general, like Malaysia's track and field standards?
Well, I mean, Malaysia has won. Triple jump is a different kind of jump. So there's long jump and triple jump. Malaysia has won the triple jump in like the last 5 SEA Games editions gold medal.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so we're quite untouchable in that. And then in
The
like
last 5 SEA Games.
5 editions of the SEA Games, yeah.
And every how
10
many years?
Every 2
Every
years.
2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so the track and field scene in Malaysia is really good. We've definitely got some great, talented athletes, even in 100 meters, female and male, 200 meters as well. Our relay team does well, and stuff like that as well. So yeah, the track and field scene in Malaysia is pretty good.
Not to diminish their accomplishments, but do we have any track and field medal wins in Olympics?
Track and field? No, not yet. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's so funny, right? How Malaysians are like, when you tell them like a feat that's accomplished by a Malaysian or what, right? They always want to see you at a higher level,
something better.
Then only they will recognize
Right.
it.
But SEA
Right.
Games, Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, yeah, like for our athletes are very prominent there.
Yeah, there's a lot of countries in Asia.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like it's easy or anything.
Yeah, and like China is competing as well. India.
If China is competing, then that's pretty intense
Yeah.
already, right?
Yeah, so we've got Irfan Sham, our discus thrower.
Mm.
He's like world Asia number 2, and things like that. So yeah, quite a few of our athletes
So
are good.
Sorry, which countries usually win the Asian Games?
China, India.
China, India. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess simply because of just the masses as well.
Yeah, I mean they're very talented.
I kind of like have this picture in my mind like of China athletes, right? Like since young they're being trained, and it's like they're forced to go through all this vigorous exercise, and
Right,
really intense training, and then it shows that they just have no life like that. Is
Right.
I guess it's not all like that, lah.
I
Maybe.
hope not.
You hope not.
Pity these kids, man. Like suffering in training camps since like 4 or 5 years old.
Bro, let me ask you about. I know that PEDs, right, is a thing in a lot of high level elite sports. in baseball also they have that sort of there are people like caught with PEDs and all. Does any of that happen in cricket?
In cricket, not that I've never heard a story.
Really?
Yeah, I think maybe there was one Australian guy. Yeah, I mean he's passed away now already. His name is Shane Warne. Yeah, I remember when I first was getting into cricket back then.
Yeah, this is long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago, 2005 I think or something. He was someone who was caught doping, but I'm not sure what he took though.
Very common for a lot of elite athletes is EPO, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, EPO is endurance enhancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just watching this documentary yesterday. Have you watched Icarus?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, Icarus about this guy Brian Fogel, who's an amateur cyclist, aspires to be in the Tour de France. You know, and he, what he did was he took part in this race. Can't remember exactly what this race is called, but basically this race is a good. This race is a good determiner, like to show whether you could compete lah in the.
Right,
it's just like something to kind of like gauge where your level is at. So he took part in that race and he placed I think he placed 14th, something like that. And the following year he wanted to document his whole experience, right? Because he found out that, and he's also heard that a lot of the other athletes, he's known since he was young that a lot of these athletes are doping. So he wanted to document his whole journey, that he's going to try and compete again the following year, but he's going to be assisted by this Russian scientist, Gregory, can't remember his full name, but this Russian scientist, right, was actually part of WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Association. So he was part of that association, and Brian, who is the cyclist that wants to document his experience, right, doping in this competition, he only later found out during the whole documentation of this that the scientist that was helping him, Gregory, was actually coordinating sort of like a state. He was like the head of a state coordinated drug doping program in Russia. So he's from Russia, and that scientist himself has always been involved in athletics his whole life. He's even been open about doping since he was young. You know, his mom taught him how to dope, so he kind of
runs in the family.
Yeah, runs in the family. And then it kind of all became public in 2015. You know, he got exposed, and he had to run off. This scientist, he had to run off to America and then be under witness protection because the Russian team, I think they got banned from, I forgot which Olympics, 2006, probably Rio or 2000. Is it?
Rio is 2016.
Yeah, so they got banned from one Olympics. I know that they were doping in the 2018 Winter Games. They were caught doping. So, sorry, not 2018, 2014. Yeah, Winter Games. And the scientist, Gregory, he ran over to the US and had to be under witness protection, and right now he's still on the run. You know, he had a colleague of his that was killed, you know, and then, I mean, it was announced in public that he had a heart attack, right? But Gregory himself knew that it's not likely that it was just a heart attack, because he knew that guy and he never had any sort of heart issues. It's most likely that the Russian leaders or what, they put a hit out on him because you betrayed and exposed your country, caused him to be banned. Yeah,
they'll know who are the athletes that took part and performed exceptionally well, and you know.
Yeah, bro, have you ever I'm sure you
doped?
No, not doped, bro.
Ask him that lah.
Yeah, have you ever doped?
Performance enhancement walnuts,
No, but people always think that if you dope, right, you get stronger immediately and all. Actually, a lot of the doping it enhances your recovery. It helps your recovery, so it allows you to train much more. Is it? Do you know much about any of this?
To be honest, I've watched that documentary Icarus and stuff as well, but I know zero about it. I mean, as an athlete, it's tempting.
You're supposed to say that as an athlete.
No. As an athlete, I guess when you think about it, it's tempting, right? Like, oh, could I be a better jumper? Could I get a gold medal in the Olympics or whatever, but it's just not worth it, man.
You see, right? Everyone thinks that way, that it's not worth it because you might get caught. But it's so different when all your teammates are doing it. And
Right,
then,
when you're surrounded in that environment. And,
it's so different. Not only when your teammates are doing it, your coach is advising you.
right, oh yeah.
They can't force you, of
Right.
course, but they'll say like, "Hey man, if if you're sick of getting your ass kicked, you
Exactly, yeah.
you wanna win a gold medal, like your buddy over here
Yeah.
who's gonna be down in the record books." As an athlete, right, bro? I mean, if you ask these athletes, right, what happens if would you rather win a gold medal, right, in the Olympics, which is the highest of highs of accomplishments for any for most sports? Would you rather win a gold medal, or okay, let's say if you could win a gold medal but you would die in the next 5-10 years? A lot of them would pick that.
I mean, yeah, I've been doing long jump for like a year and a bit. These guys, it's their life. But still, man, I wouldn't pick death.
I mean, some people are a bit more crazy, I guess.
Yeah. But it can be. I mean, yeah, when you set a goal and a target as an athlete, you can change your whole life to live a certain way to just achieve that target.
So let's rewind back also. Yeah, in high school, how were you academically wise?
I would say my mom beat me into A shape, so I was okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, typical Indian household.
Yeah, typical.
Sorry, not Indian, Punjabi.
Dude, but I was a bad student. I feel so bad for my mom, man. Like,
No, I guess I'm not sure about over here, but I would hear in American schools, you would have to get you had to achieve a certain level of academic grade, right, for you to be able to continue training with the school program.
oh yeah, that's definitely what it was like at home for me. Definitely.
Okay. It's not enforced by your school, but by your mom.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's like you want to play, you want to go for the selections, you want to do this and that, you got to get A's. Well, not A's. I mean, I wasn't the greatest of students, so it started with like 50, then 60, then 70, but it had to keep going up and up.
Yeah, but you're a maths teacher.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. Where do you teach?
I teach in the Shah Alam branch, Malaysian International School.
High school, is it?
It's a high school, yeah.
Were you ever good at maths last time?
Yeah, I mean, in primary school, no. Like, I feel bad for my mom at the time because, bro, I was so bad. It was like 5 oranges cost 10 ringgit. How much does 1 orange cost?
Yeah, well,
And
your mind.
If it changes to apples, 5 apples cost $10. How much does 1 apple cost? I wouldn't be able to do that. So yeah, man, it was that bad. But it eventually picked up and got really well because I had this one situation when I was in primary 6. We were doing angles. So I still remember this so clearly. I couldn't answer this question. A teacher made me stand up in the middle of the class, and he said, I mean, at the time teachers were ruthless. You know what I mean? He was like, "You're stupid. Like, how can you be?"
What?
Yeah,
No,
dude.
that's not too uncommon in public school.
Okay.
But international school, I didn't expect that, bro.
Yeah, he's like, "How can you be so stupid?" or something like that. And I was standing in front of the class, and I just remembered like tears just started rolling down my face, man. I was crying my ass off, and I was so embarrassed. But that day, I don't know what happened, but after that, I went back home, right, and I just told myself I'm never being in that situation again. So I started with maths. I was rubbish still at science and history and geography, but with maths, I was like, I'm never being in the situation again. I need to know everything. So, and that's how it started, this embarrassment, I guess.
It's like what do you call that? A wake up call, right?
Oh yeah, huge slap in the face, man. Like,
Yeah. At maths, how did you do in at maths?
I was okay. I got A for my O levels. Thank
That's
goodness.
more than okay. Huh?
Yeah.
You did well. Modern maths is pretty easy compared to at maths.
Yeah,
right?
but before my O levels, like 4 months before my O levels, like my mom and stuff, like no sports.
Yeah, because you have to focus.
Yeah, like if the coach wanted me to come for like a match, then maybe. But training and all that, like 4 or 5 times a week was no, like completely no.
Yeah, but if you didn't go for training and all, then it's likely that you wouldn't be able to. The coach wouldn't pick you for the match, right?
But that's what I'm saying, man. That's how cricket is. That's how some coaches are. Like people don't turn up for training. People don't do what they should do, but they can still play.
Okay,
They
I
can
see,
still
I
get
see.
into teams. Or
Except
yeah.
when it comes to you, lah. Is it?
At a certain time, yeah, it sort of became that way.
Apart from sports, sorry, what other hobbies did you have, man, growing up?
There's always watching sports or playing sports and things like that.
Games? Did you play games?
Yeah, I like playing Crash Bandicoot, FIFA, all those kind of things. Tekken.
Dude, for me, right, like always played a lot of sports. Primary school, first sport I started playing was football at Centre 6. And then badminton and futsal in high school. But I could never, I was never really good at any of it. I would say I'm just the most average player. And I always wonder, what the difference is from a person, like a student or a teenager who's always excelled in this style of sports since young. Like, what is it that makes them, like some kids are just really good since the start.
Yeah.
And some are just, they've never been good, even though I play as often as my friends, right? Yeah, but I was never as good. Maybe I didn't go for training, as much as they did. But one thing for me is I noticed, like, when I played team sports, right, I cared most about, like, just making everyone laugh. And I would assume that is not...
That's an important person to have in the team.
Yeah, but is it often that person's not the best player?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I noticed, like, for me, I'm the dude that's always talking, man. I'm always talking and then trying to make jokes or what, and then people are really serious.
Right.
I could never be that. I mean, now looking back, I realize the things that I could have done differently if I wanted to be better. Yeah. Did you play futsal try to play for school?
Football for the school team, basketball for the school team back then.
What? You played so many sports. How do you juggle your training?
I had very lucky to have my mom to drive me to training. And
then you're one of those kids that's always been really athletic.
Yeah, that's as I was like, I don't remember having any other hobbies aside watching sports, playing sports.
What about track? You didn't do any track in school?
Now, I don't know if this is like a regret that I have, but I was at a sports meet back then. I ran an 800 meter. And apparently there was some guy from Malaysian Athletics Federation who was at this meet. And he went to my parents and he said, if your son can run an 800 meters like this, you should consider putting him into like a athletics club.
How old were you, dude?
14 or 15. And but that just never happened because I was already playing cricket at a high level then.
Dude. Right.
Yeah, but looking back at it, oh man, being in track and field is definitely more worthwhile than being in cricket. That's for sure.
Like, were you training or what for the 800?
I mean, we would have like a month of training before the sports meet. Like the school would have they'll organize the training sessions and stuff like that. But nothing serious. I wouldn't say I'm a runner at school or anything like that.
Just so happens during the sports day you won.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you were kind of a headhunted by the dude.
Yeah, but unfortunately, never didn't take the step to make that materialize.
Yeah, because you had no time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so now for long jumping, when's your next competition?
I think there's Para Open in a couple of weeks.
What about your focus on box jumping as well? How do you juggle that?
So I teach maths in the school. Yeah. So at the school, I've sort of converted a small section of their multi-purpose hall into my little mini gym. So I keep my boxes there. And so sometimes before school starts in the morning, then I'll do some box jumps, some box jump training stuff at that time. But
you still train every day or jumping?
I do it twice a week at least. Yeah. But to think about another record and stuff, that's not on my mind right now.
Another record as in another category?
Another category, yeah.
Yeah. The world record still holds, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see are there people attempting to break it or not?
Yeah, so I will get an email if someone wants to break it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They have to notify you.
Yeah, I think it's part of their system. And I am given the opportunity to attempt as well.
On the same day, is it? Like you guys
before they do it.
Oh, okay. You basically make it harder for them to beat. Okay.
But every time something like this has happened, which has already been maybe about 5 or 6 times, I've not said I want to.
But did they manage to break it?
No.
So they notify you before they do it, and then it's not someone from Malaysia
No, there's been people. A lot is mainly it's from America and Canada, and then out of the blue, this one time there was a guy from Zimbabwe.
I don't know, maybe some of those people over there, they've got crazy jet.
Yeah, they play rugby and stuff like that.
Bro, have you seen shit? What is this?
The Messiah tribe from Kenya?
Yes, bro.
Yeah,
is it Messiah tribe?
Messiah tribe from Kenya.
The jumping people, right?
The jumping people.
Yeah. Dude, those people, it's definitely genetically gifted as fuck, but also it's in their culture to be just doing that.
Yeah, they just do that, pogo jumps basically. Insanely high. The mechanics is just
No, but
insane.
those people, like, if they were to,
Oh, if they were to train, they would definitely be Olympic long jumpers.
Yeah, but
and
they just-
high jumpers for sure.
right?
Yeah. Because that static kind of jump, going up that high is
Yeah.
incredible.
It's like you wouldn't believe it until you see
Yeah.
those sort of people. Yeah, and they're super
And
slender.
they're just in their like robes, like they're not even in like sports clothes.
Super slender,
Yeah.
bro.
Bare
Yeah.
feet or just some simple kind of slipper or something.
So now your focus is entirely on long jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you said when your next competition is when?
Para Open, I think, is in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks time.
These are all qualifications for
Yeah.
the Asian Games, is it?
SEA Games,
SEA
Asian
Games.
Games, Commonwealth. So like how it works is, let's say SEA Games now will have a qualifying mark, and Malaysia will also have their own qualifying mark as well. So let's just say it's maybe, I don't know, 7.5 or something. So if I go for Para Open, or anybody that goes for Para Open, if they get more than 7.5, then they'll get picked up, and then you get put into like a program with MSN and stuff like that, and then you can train. But for me, I never did that. I just broke a world record and got picked up like that. Oh yeah, so like all these competitions like SEA Games, Asian Games, they themselves will have a qualifying mark, for like, oh, if you want to take part in the SEA Games as a long jumper, you must hit this mark to qualify.
So is it you have to hit the mark, or they only can pick a certain amount of people to
So
join?
usually in each category, like long jump, triple jump, high jump, 100-meter sprint or anything, usually it's two representatives from each country. Yeah, so sometimes there can be, so let's say if in Para Open,
Yeah.
there's a SEA Games qualifying mark, let's say for example 7.5, but in Para Open, let's say 3 jumpers jump more than 7.5, then they'll just pick the 2 best. Yeah, that third guy would miss out.
Okay. So our current sports minister is Hannah Yeoh, right? Yeah. Just now, Vishnu asked you an interesting question, lah.
Who do you think the best sports minister was? Like during your time, like training and all that.
And in my time as an athlete, I think Kyrie and Syed Sadiq were.
Which years was KJ?
KJ was 2017 that time, and
Until?
I think 2017 was his last.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I got into the cricket team and it's the SEA Games program and all that, it was 2017,
Yeah.
and we were the home country for SEA Games. So KJ did a really good job in organizing the SEA Games and all that kind of stuff, and making sure we were equipped really well and kitted up really well and things like that. It really felt like we were like superstars representing our
You met
country
him,
and
lah,
stuff.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then after him, Syed Sadiq. And Syed Sadiq himself is also, I would say, like someone who's into sports, and he does
Yeah,
his own
definitely.
running and swimming and everything. So he knows like what we go through, and even he made good changes to ensure that we got good things. And he brought about esports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was a good thing as well. All my esports friends will be
You got
happy about that.
buddies playing in the competitive scene?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Which games?
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite. That was like the more the younger generation.
Right.
You play
And-
Fortnite as well?
No, I don't play computer games. I used to play Red Alert 2 and Counter Strike,
Oh,
bro.
that's
I
so
love
loud.
Counter Strike.
Oh,
Yeah.
Counter Strike. Yeah.
But Command and Conquer, Red Alert 2, those games as well. But I loved Counter Strike. Yeah. But back to the question, like, but Hannah Yeoh is not known to be an athlete or anything like that. But
Yeah.
she's definitely made really good changes for like athlete welfare and things like that. So everyone sort of brought their own special thing to the mix. So I wouldn't pick one best sports minister, but in my time, these 3 have done and made a good impact.
Something I read just the other day, I think in 2025, there's going to be up to 1,000 ringgit of tax rebate for sports
Coaching and training and stuff.
funds like expenses on sports, which includes like your coaching, your equipments, apparels, so up to 10,000, up to 1,000. It's like basically if you spend 10,000, you get 1,000 of it back. Yeah.
I think that's a huge game changer for would-be athletes, young kids. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. But it's only applicable in 2025. Which is the following year.
Yeah.
Bro, something I want to ask you about also.
Yeah.
Have I'm sure you've seen like transgender athletes like all over the news and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard about the Leah Thomas?
The swimming thing, is it? Yeah.
Leah Thomas, who is she's really controversial right now and just all over the news because
Yeah.
she's a man who's now a transgender woman. So this was in the NCAA, which is the highest level of competition right before the Olympics, I would
Yeah,
say.
for American.
For Americans. It's kind of like in Malaysia, what's the equivalent?
We don't have a league format, but if it was like a tournament format sort of thing, equivalent would be like Sukma.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's every year, is it, Sukma?
Sukma is every 2 years,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, one particular swimmer who is really outspoken about this, Riley Gaines.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all over right now, right?
Yeah.
It's a 24-year-old swimmer, and then she's competed against Leah Thomas, and she's very outspoken about the fact that, okay, in general, what do you feel that it's fair?
I mean, personally, I have friends who are part of the community, but I don't have athletic friends who play sports that are part of the community.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had to answer this question, and if I had to put myself in their shoes, and I'm an athlete, very athletic guy myself, I love sports, and then if I was trans, I would want to still take part in sports.
Yeah, of course.
And it wouldn't be up to me to say it's fair or not fair, but I think there has to be an avenue. Everybody deserves to play sports.
So let me throw this at this on as well.
Yeah.
So Leah Thomas, right? When she was competing with the men's, she placed 400.
Oh, okay.
Right? 400.
Yeah.
Around 400, not in the top 10 or whatever. Riley Gaines, who is the girl that was just I would say leading the charge in speaking out on this and how she claims that it's really unfair and it's just taking away a lot of opportunities for the girls.
Yeah.
She was one of the top swimmers, right? So we've got Leah Thomas who comes in, and pretty much dominates
Female category.
yeah, a couple of the events in the female swimming category. You look at it from a perspective of like, imagine if you have a kid, right?
Yeah.
All her life you've been supporting her in her competitive sports, training and competing and all, and to have like the whole, like, athletes will know okay, they train their whole life just to win, right? To place, to get a medal, and if you have someone who's from the, let's say, competing in the male category and was not even anywhere near the level of being able to win a medal, and she comes in and just takes the glory away, they would feel very
hard done by, for sure.
very unfair. I think something that's even more clearer displays the obvious disadvantage and for it being unfair, right, is, have you heard of transgender MMA fighters?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's this girl that was really famous, Fallon Fox. She was a transgender woman, right? So a man who's a transgender woman now, competing against women in the in the women's category of MMA. There's a reason why there are categories, like male and women's. Like let's say powerlifting, right? You can't have an Olympics where it's just a unisex sort of category. So this female fight, this trans fighter, Fallon Fox, fought against two women. I think she competed 2 times with women female fighters.
Oh, damn.
And got the KO win. But she didn't tell them that they were trans. It's a whole different story if you told them that you were trans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then the women and let's say the female fighter still agrees to fight, then I would say there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because
if they agree to it and
they kind of know what they're up against. Yeah, so you watch the fight and then you see there was a real obvious physical disadvantage.
Right.
Not to say that a woman can't beat a male fighter. That's not true, because that girl itself, the one that fought 2 times without telling people that she was trans, she herself lost to a female fighter.
Oh, I see.
But that was a female UFC fighter.
Right.
So obviously the female UFC fighter is much more skilled. And,
Right.
yeah, way better. Ashley Evans Smith. But then, you've got people in the trans community that are so outraged at the fact that people are not happy with her competing against the females. But I just feel like it's really obvious, especially when it comes to sports, and let alone combat sports. That is even more evident, the differences. In Malaysia, I guess we have nothing.
I don't think you could even come out in Malaysia. And,
Oh, bro, let's just say like in international school, right? Did you have any friends that were gay or lesbian or open about it?
during school time, I don't. I mean, there were people who are now from
Yeah.
school time, but during school time, no, they never came out and so.
So let's say in a public school, right?
Right.
In my school, so actually my school, I don't think there are any right now lah that I think maybe they're still in the closet if they were actually. But in high school, definitely I didn't see any, like there's no one that would, openly show that they're flamboyant or
Right.
a bit more
Like they just
feminine.
can't be themselves, I guess.
Yeah, but I thought maybe perhaps in international schools a bit more open, so they would dare to. But
No.
it's really really scary lah if you're
Yeah.
if you are them, and as a teenager especially, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you've been competing as a high level for many many years, right?
Yeah.
Bro? Moments that come to mind where it really made you contemplate like quitting, really dark times.
Every day.
Of course.
Yeah, but well, now I'm currently so January to now, I would say I had a really good time in terms of performances. Like my performances have been shooting up, and in training, in competition and stuff like that. But then I got injured a couple of weeks ago, and that put my Johor Open in doubt.
How did that happen, dude?
We were doing 40-meter sprints, and I was going all out. And then after we did about 4 or 5, I think after maybe the third one, I started feeling my left hip a bit, my hip flexor. But I just continued, but then a few days later, it just hurt like crazy. It was just kind of holding me back, and then things like that cast into your mind and say, how bad is this injury? How long will this injury keep you out for?
So, do you get it checked?
Oh yeah, I got scans and everything done. So luckily for me, there's no tear. So that's why I can still train and stuff. But I'm doing a lot of physio now for the next couple of weeks and stuff like that.
What was it actually?
I've got a very, very tight hip flexor. It's too tight. So there's a lot of strain and stress on it whenever I run and jump.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
overexerting.
Yeah,
is it?
because obviously my body is not conditioned to be a jumper. So, and the more I train and the more I get into this long jump journey, and especially this last 4 months, things have been moving up.
Sorry,
And so-
not conditioned as in it's been a relatively quick
Oh
period,
yeah,
adjustment period.
a very very quick adjustment period into, especially like because the coach that I have is he's really good. Like, he really
Yeah.
knows what to do with me to get me to improve, and these things have been happening very fast, even faster than I predicted, and have my own targets written down for February or April or whatever
Yeah.
it is. But so I think mentally I'm there, but physically my body isn't at that level. It's taking too long to catch up with all this tightness and stuff.
Sorry, taking too long, but I mean it's more like taking it's taking the necessary time lah. But you're trying basically
Yeah.
trying hard to push it.
Yeah.
Remember just now I was talking to you before we started the podcast, and then I mentioned that my because I was doing bodybuilding for 5 to 6 years, right? And then I started getting into running, and let's say I ran on Monday, and then I ran again on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, and I ran every day from
Right.
then on now. So from never running at all, I would run 3 km every day, try to go as fast as I can in
Yeah.
that 3 km, and within like under 6 months, both my knees were really sore,
Right.
really sore, and like there was some sort of sharp pain. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's because, I'm from especially doing bodybuilding only, right? Everywhere is all tight,
Right.
right? Really, really tight. So I started running every day, and then I think it's like similar to you. There's
Yeah.
not a proper adjustment period.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's a
You just like throw yourself into it, and then
Yeah.
you start feeling things around your body.
somehow I'm really you know how they always say humans are creatures of habit, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's that way for me also when I get into something lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you are the same
Yeah.
as well because you love sports, right?
Yeah. It's a problem.
Is it a problem?
Yeah, man.
If
Because
you're
sometimes
enjoying
I
it.
feel like, but that's the thing. Because I do enjoy it, of course. But like for me, it's like even if I was to go swimming, I'll get my Fitbit on or my like the tracker-ish watch, and say, okay, I'm gonna do 300 meters in the pool, and I'm gonna set a time that I have to do the 300 meters in.
Yeah, yeah.
So everything becomes just too competitive.
So you want to
And-
come back again the next day?
Yeah,
Is
like
it?
you know, like
Yeah.
or at that session itself, I got to finish it in that time and stuff. So, and I didn't really know that aspect about myself to this
Really?
level until I got with my fiance, and she just looked at me and she was like, "Not everything has to be like I must complete this in a time, or I must have this target and achieve it in this sport or in this activity." You know what I mean? Yeah, and I was like, "Oh shit, actually,
It's
yeah,
a
you're right."
very, very common personality trait of
Yeah,
the best of the best athletes,
yeah,
bro. I mean, I'm sure everyone, you there was a documentary about Jordan, right? So it really highlights like how insanely competitive he was. You know, a lot of his teammates also like couldn't get along with him because
yeah,
he's always he's like an ultra winner lah,
yeah.
basically. Yeah. I'm not the guy to talk about basketball about lah, but yeah, I heard about that documentary.
Right.
Yeah, but it's very very common amongst
Yeah.
a lot of elite athletes. Yeah, I was never like that lah, bro.
Right.
Competitive, selectively competitive, but for you it's everything.
Yeah, it's my life, it's my routine. Everything I do is based on, will this help me become a better long jumper?
Okay. No, let's say in terms of your control to be competitive. Let's say if I call you out to like, let's go play badminton, right?
I wouldn't go.
Oh, why? Because you know that you might.
It, like the risk of getting an injury
Oh, okay.
by
Okay.
by playing badminton would make me feel really upset.
I thought because like you would want to come back again and do better and do better and do
I
better.
would play hard. That's the thing. I'll play hard. I wouldn't want to lose. I'll play hard and have fun. But just the risk of like getting an injury playing badminton or futsal and stuff like that, like it's just not.
You
worth,
can't risk
I
that,
can't
lah.
risk that, man. Yeah.
Tell me about your diet, dude.
My diet or
Is
lack
this-
thereof.
Sorry, is this a oh wow like no I wanted to say, is this a diet that is like recommended by your coach?
No, it's not that. It's a personal thing, very personal. It's just sometimes you can think of something mentally, and that thought can, make you believe that you're going to achieve something because of it. So I believe that with a super, super clean diet, I'll become a much better athlete, and that's what will also help me achieve my goals.
Bro, that's really interesting, man. Like you mentioned that because there's an obvious correlation with the diet and your physical performance, right? In whatever sport you're doing. But also a lot of the times it's just the positive mental that it gives you that gives you the confidence also, right? Like in general, how is your diet right now?
Yeah, so that also gives me like a lot of self-belief, like kind of thing. So my diet is what's not in my diet is like soft drinks, fast food, sweets, all that stuff is
Since
not.
when?
It's been about 4 years, 4 to 5 years. Ever since I started this jump journey, I'd say.
The box jumping, is it?
From the box jumping, yeah.
And what, like it was just like a personal thing, like
Yeah, it was just like a switch in my brain. I was just like, I'm eating too much crap and trash. And I was one of those guys, bro, that I used to eat fast food almost every day. Like if like McDonald's today, tomorrow Domino's, the next day KFC. Like it was that kind of thing. And
yeah, it's addictive, bro.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's worse with McDonald's or mamak food. You know what I mean?
I guess McDonald's. I don't know, man. But yeah,
Right.
like so, like even like a mama, like, I've not like had a banana leaf rice. In, like,
Yeah, I see how your eyes light up when you say
Yeah.
banana leaf
so
rice,
my,
bro.
but like when I go with my, so like yeah, I wouldn't like hang out and stuff. But like if my fiance was like, "Yo, Harinder, I'm really craving banana leaf rice," so like let's go. So I'll like take away a pasta or something from somewhere and have it, or bring something from home and have it, kind
Just
of thing.
indulge, huh?
Yeah. Indulge in my lack of mamak food. Yeah.
Dude, but not only if your girlfriend is craving, just having a partner in general, she would want to go out on dates with you, right? So
Yeah.
like, do you have like a day or a week where you want to eat, like you would let yourself, like just let yourself go?
No.
No.
So if we do go to restaurants, like of course we go out on dates and stuff like that. Like I mean, I just drink water, dude. Like or the most I'd go for is like milk or juice. So that kind of thing.
What if the restaurant like serves like just nice roast chicken breast?
Yeah. So then that's okay. So if it's like a grilled chicken breast thingy, like whatever, then it's fine. But fried stuff and all that, like no-nos, French fries and stuff like that, like no.
So for these 4 years, you've been like super disciplined, huh?
Yeah, bro. So like my birthday was last week,
Yeah.
and I decided to just dabble with some chocolate cake on my birthday.
Yeah. Oh dear.
And bro, it was a huge mistake. I got a fever. I started getting chills that night. For 2 days, I was just like out. I was sick.
But what are we talking about? Like, you said dabble in some. Like, did you eat the whole cake
Bro, it
or
was
just
like
a slice?
It was like just like this, two of these small like squares.
So it's like half a slice.
Yeah, like that's all I had. And
What?
yeah, I was having shivers, man. Like I couldn't believe it myself.
Like wait, no, like how long after you ate
Maybe
it?
a couple of hours, 2 hours.
That's crazy, right?
Because I had it at night, and then I went to my room to bed, and yeah, man, it was like shivering.
And it's definitely nothing else that you could have eaten. on
No,
that
because
day.
my diet is what I always have. So I'll always have, like I said, grilled chicken, or from at home I'll have brown rice with veg and chicken, or with rice, or with fish and stuff.
Bro,
but
that's insane.
yeah, so my
okay,
body
that-
just can't take it.
No, I guess
I
not.
think.
Not just your body. I mean, who knows, man? If like, let's say if I were to eat clean, also super clean, like what
Yeah.
you've been eating for 4 years, and then
Yeah.
suddenly I eat chocolate cake.
Yeah, I
No.
think you would go through that as well.
Maybe not as bad, but definitely you would feel some sort of like discomfort lah
Yeah.
in your tummy.
Which is kind of crazy for me, man. Because like ever since I started this diet thing and flipped this switch, it was McDonald's. It was McDonald's that what was the hard thing for me. And
To resist, you mean?
yeah, like
When's the last time you had it?
4 or 5 years, man.
Do you still think about it?
Bro, I look across the street to McDonald's and reminisce on the good times.
You know what happens once you eat it, right? You get fucked up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, dude. So,
You'll
like,
probably be sick,
I
right?
really want like sweet and sour sauce with nuggets, ayam goreng,
I'm
barbecue
gonna-
sauce. Like.
I'm gonna torture you right now. eh. Let's talk about a little bit about. Okay, what? Yeah, since you are the fast food guy, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Oh shit, I feel so bad. Okay. For the content.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's your go-to at McDonald's?
Ayam goreng medium set, and then a 9-piece nugget with sweet and sour and barbecue sauce.
Spicy?
No, not spicy.
Oh, you never
No,
you
no.
never the type to like
My
spicy.
spice tolerance has always been rubbish.
I would like to say there isn't any other person in Malaysia that could eat spicier than me.
Oh, really, dude?
I mean,
Damn.
I love spicy food.
Really?
lah.
Wow.
Bro,
okay.
I'm the type where I would eat those. There's this restaurant Ayam Gepok, right? In TTDI, it's an Indonesian restaurant, and you know, these Indonesian like let's say if you're eating ayam penyet, some places they have really really spicy chili. Yeah, and I would always ask for extra, and then you know, once I get into that routine, right, I eat it every day, and then you know how when you eat it, and then what happens the next morning, right? Your
Right, right.
asshole's on fire, right?
Right.
I will eat it again the next day and the day after until you don't feel it
There's
anymore.
the cravings, man.
Yeah, I mean, you get numb to it. Your asshole
Right.
gets numb to it, bro.
Your body's like, oh yeah, this is what it is.
Yeah, I would eat spicy, like there's sort of like really sweating, and you know you have to take a break and drink water and
Yeah.
wine. I would eat that every day,
Right.
bro. Yeah, I'm sort of like you when it comes to food, man. I like my routine and the same food, except it's not healthy, lah. Yeah.
Man, like a Pizza Hut would be a dream, man.
Okay, so wait, what about burger at McDonald's?
Mm-mm.
No, I mean, what would you go?
Oh, a burger?
Yeah, what would you go for if you get a burger?
I would have a double mac chicken with cheese, no mayo, no salad.
You don't eat beef, is it?
I don't eat beef, no.
Okay. Okay. No wonder you wouldn't get. I mean, if you did like spicy chicken deluxe, that's the shit.
I've
man.
had spicy. Yeah, it's nice. It is nice, but when the spice kicks in, then I gotta take a break. Yeah, it is.
it's
It
really
is nice.
tasty. Yeah. KFC,
I'll get a snack plate,
chicken breast or thigh.
Thai drumstick.
Dude, I've had this conversation before. I think when I did the podcast with him, right,
Yeah.
we were talking about like chicken breast or thigh, and then there are some people that say breast, and I said, but what if both the chicken breast and thigh had the exact same nutritional values,
Right.
right? And some of them still said breast. And I'm like, do you just not like good food? Like
Yeah, true. But bro, I mean, I used to be that kind of guy.
the what?
Like, I just want chicken breast. I just want the big meaty part. But as I started,
to understand
get
taste.
drumstick. Exactly, it's tastier. It's so much tastier. Drumstick and thigh is so much tastier.
And the reason why it's tastier is because there's more fat now.
Right.
It's simple.
Oh, but dude, like this is the thing though.
What's up?
I don't know how you're gonna take this, but if I were to have like chicken and stuff, I would get rid of the skin.
No, but let's say there's no diet.
Oh yeah, even back then I would not eat that. If I go to KFC, I would take out that skin and put it aside. I don't know why. I just
You see how angry Vishnu looks
he
right
literally
now?
just sat back.
I used to do that as a kid, but then eventually that changed. But
You
yeah.
ain't fooling no one, man. That's for real. Wait, no, but Why?
I don't like the texture and the sight of it as well, man. Like, it's soggy. Okay.
Okay, so when you were young, you just didn't like chicken skin.
Yeah, I just didn't like how it looked and like that fat layer thingy on the underside.
Would you
like-
eat skin from other meat?
No.
Fish skin or just any skin?
Yeah, fish skin also. It just puts me off, I think.
Oh, it's
So-
wait, like okay, right now if there's no diet, is there any skin you would eat?
Potato skins, but no,
Oh,
no
no
meat
meat
skins.
skins.
No meat skins.
You eat pork?
Yeah.
Let's say chicken rice. You know the Chinese chicken rice?
Nah, so like for pork, I don't eat pork with rice. I just take it like on its own. But even that, like, I know it's gonna sound weird again, but like I would remove the fat. So like with the suyok, there's like a super crispy layer on top, right? So I like nibble off that layer, and then there's a fat underneath that, right?
Oh, you
so I'll
eat
get
the
rid of
crispy
that
part,
fat.
but
Yeah,
you
eat
take
the
it-
crispy
okay.
part, but remove
Yeah,
that fat underneath.
Okay, that's a little bit more acceptable. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, if you told me you remove the crispy part or something, like what is
No,
going
no,
on,
that's
man?
damn nice. Dude.
Yeah, okay. I guess I only ever feel that way when I've had too much fat, huh?
Right.
You know, then it gets jelat lah. The
Right, right,
word
right.
is jelat. Usually after eating 2 KFC chickens is too much already lah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wouldn't eat more than that lah. How long do you think you can hold with this diet, man?
It's come to a point for me where I'm okay already. Like I'm not holding it or what. It's become like a way of life. It's become my life already, kind of thing. I don't really get tempted here and there, but brownies and vanilla ice cream really tempt me. But after that episode during my birthday, it's made me more like okay, I don't need it, kind of thing.
Dude,
don't want it.
The only so last time I did bulking cutting, right? So 2 months bulk, 2 months cut, and then when you're cutting, I would be super disciplined,
Right.
which is exactly what the bodybuilders eat for their diet. I will copy that routine
Right.
lah, which is pretty much oats in the morning, and then tonight at night they get more protein heavy.
Yeah.
So I would eat just a full chicken breast. I ate so much chicken breast at one point so the chicken breast would be cooked with at the very most olive oil and salt and pepper.
Right.
It would get so bad until I was really contemplating just blending the chicken and just drinking it. I couldn't take it, man, bro. Like
Bro.
I'm
Just no
sure
taste, like kind of thing.
yeah, but I'm sure your diet you eat clean, but there's got to be some flavor and shit.
Yeah, I mean, even but
Chili sauce, do you have chili sauce or
no,
barbecue?
no sauce, no tomato sauce. But even at home, like if my mom were to cook, like, I mean, now I live on my own, but if I were to go back home and my mom were to cook for me, like, she knows like not to put salt in my soup or not to put salt in the thing. Yeah,
Okay, wow. So it's
Yeah.
pretty bland.
yeah, it's quite bland for me to.
Shit, man, and the
Yeah.
fact that you can tahan.
But I
for-
like it. I enjoy what I eat.
Do you enjoy it because you see the
I enjoy it.
you see
or-
the benefits?
Yeah,
of it?
like for me, like I said, like mentally, it's really ingrained into my brain that like living this way is going to
You're getting better and getting better.
get me to achieve my goals and targets.
No, it's true. What motivated me to eat clean, right?
Yeah.
So you would notice lah. I'm sure once you shifted from KFC, I mean from fast food to eating clean,
Yeah,
you shred like
Yeah.
so fast,
yeah.
right? Within the next few weeks, at first a lot of it's going to be water retention,
Yeah.
but you notice the body fat just dropping.
Yeah.
So definitely you
And also during that time, like when you stop and then when you get back on it, like that first McDonald's or that first Pizza Hut would make you feel like, oh, I feel fat right now. Like
super.
I feel so ill right now.
Yeah. But I guess if you haven't been dieting for too long, you
Oh,
adjust.
it's okay. Yeah, it's okay to
You adjust back
yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. So I'm sure your fiance wouldn't be able to eat your food.
She would have a horrible time.
Yeah.
But that was the other day we were traveling back to her house, and she's from Semenye. So I had training until late, and what I did was I ordered myself food from this restaurant called Surai.
Yeah, I know, sir. Sir, I think Tamantun. No.
There's one in Jaya Mall as well, closer to where I live.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Giant
like-
Mall at the corner.
Yeah, so I've gone there quite a few times. I'm a regular there, so they know me and they know what I do as well.
Yeah.
So they do like a plain soup, grilled chicken, rice thing for me with kangkong and stuff. And I ordered that. I told them I'll come and pick it up around 9:45ish. So they were like, yeah, no problem and everything. So I picked up my fiance, picked up the food. Okay. Then my fiance was like, oh no, I forgot something in my car. So we drove back. We went back to her car. Okay. And then she was just like, let's just take my car, lah, like kind of thing. So I was like, okay, no problem. So we switched cars. And I realized I left my dinner in my car.
The dinner from Sarai.
From Surai. And
Yeah.
we drove all the way to Semenye, which is like 15 minutes away. And once we reached, it was like what are you gonna do and all
Yeah.
that? Like just eat at our house, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
my fiance's house, man, they eat, bro. They like dal, chicken curry, like
You mean heaven, no?
yeah, yeah, properly. But
and
I was
you-
like, I can't have all this kind of thing. So dude, that night I just ate nothing. I just ate nothing until I woke up the next morning, and then I had like my banana and whatever.
And okay, so but the next day you probably ate more calories, because you didn't want to lose weight.
No, I still kept it the same. Yeah, I didn't think that actually.
Okay, shit. Yeah, you're
But I guess my thought process would be getting lighter is better than getting heavier.
bro, I'll tell you something about. So you were talking about Jaya one, right?
Yeah.
So I went to Jaya one this last year, I think, right? So I had the Lil Gonsterville boys on, right, and we were talking about this
okay.
also. So there's a cyber cafe up there. I went there with my buddies, and we played for a while. Then I came out to use the bathroom, right, which is the top floor. There's a cinema,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
right. So I went to the toilet, right, and I was taking a piss in the urinal, and more than 10 Indian dudes walked into the toilet, and I was shit scared. Immediately shit scared. I know how racist this sounds, but I was so scared because first of all, they weren't speaking English,
Okay.
right? They were speaking Tamil, and I was peeing. I think, oh damn, you know how Jayawan is not the most
Yeah.
crowded mall, right?
Yeah.
It's actually quite quiet, and
Yeah.
I think 50% of the shops maybe are not even occupied.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I was scared, and then they were talking them a lot. Then I realized, like, oh, they just came out from the cinema. You know?
okay.
They're talking about the movie.
Right.
Obviously, I couldn't understand, lah. But that's what was my racial instincts, lah. It just kicked in, lah. Yeah. What's interesting is they told me, the Consterville boys, right? They told me that maybe it's nothing special to you, but then they said, like, yeah, they also get scared of Indian people.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. They said, like, yeah, they actually, one of them almost got robbed by by a Indian dude when they were so naughty. They were drinking in the park when they were like 16 or what.
Right.
And then some older dude, like maybe closer to our age now, came over and then started asking them for money and then give me a
Right.
wallet and all that shit. Yeah. So
That's scary, man.
hey, do you have any racist experiences?
Not in Malaysia.
Not in Malaysia.
No.
Oh, dude, how was your time in UK, man? How long did you spend there?
I spent 4 years there. So yeah, when I was in UK, there was a time when I was walking on the street, and obviously they just look at you and stereotype you, right? They don't know who I am. They don't know I'm from Malaysia.
Locals?
Yeah, the white guys there, I guess. One guy, like, from his window somewhere up there, he opened up his window and I'm walking, and he's like, "Oi, you fucking Paki." And I was like, "What the fuck? I'm from Malaysia, dude." Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he obviously just thinks I'm this brown guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. Like, nothing crazy though.
I've had that many, not many, but a couple of times in Australia. But I wouldn't even, like, when people, I've had people tell me, like, oh, in Australia, yeah, wow, really, I heard they are damn racist over there. I'm like, no, dude, I lived there for 8 years. I experienced none of that.
When I was in Brisbane for a couple of years, I didn't experience anything. They were so nice to me. They were like, "Oh, you don't drink alcohol?" I'm like, "No, I don't." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Over here, it's like, "You don't drink alcohol? Hey, bye, bro." Hey, no. Like, like, it's like that.
Yeah, that's because Indian people, the stereotype is they drink alcohol, bro.
But when I was in Perth, this one
Yeah.
time, actually, when I was in Perth, I was walking past this lady, and I was in Perth for a cricket tournament that time. I was only like 15 or 16. And when I was younger, I had a turban, had a little boy turban kind of thing. And this lady from across the street, like elderly woman like in her 40s, was just like, "Hey, fuck off back to where you come from."
Yeah, it's
So,
just a...
I didn't understand it then, but when I was like 18, 19, and I thought about that, then I understood that, oh, that was actually like a racist kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you something interesting, like, in a moment, lah. But yeah, I was saying that in Australia, the worst thing that I've experienced, and as I said, I wouldn't even consider this any sort of racial abuse, lah. Okay.
Right.
I mean, it is racial abuse. So I'm walking down the street, and then a bunch of, like, let's say, teenagers or white boys who's been partying, right, or they're drinking, right, they're having a good time on the weekends. They wind down the window and say, "Hey, fuck you, chink," and that happens many times, and it's nothing. Like, I'm saying that it's nothing because, is it nothing?
Shit.
Yeah, it sounds bad, but you have to understand that.
For them. Like,
No, you have to understand that in the city, CBD, Brisbane is very similar, or
right.
Perth is. I have never been to Perth,
okay.
but have you been to Melbourne or Sydney?
No, I mean only when I was much younger.
So you would know, especially now, it's 50% Asian.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
them shouting at me, there's everyone around me is all Asian. So it's like nothing. They're doing it for the giggles, for laughs. They're just with their boys, and
That's
they're just
crazy.
doing stupid things.
I've had this is definitely not a racial encounter, but if you didn't understand cricket, you would think it. Because I was playing cricket in Brisbane, right? And sledging, as we call it, or banter on the field is very common in cricket.
Trash talking.
Trash
maybe.
talking, yeah, like proper trash talking, man. Like,
Are you that guy?
yeah. Yeah. I play a position called the wicket keeper, which is, you have to be that kind of guy. Yeah. It's very common for wicket keepers.
What is
to
the
be.
wiki keeper?
The guy who has the gloves. Like in baseball, there's a guy with the glove behind.
Yeah, got you.
So I'm the cricket version of that.
Yeah. Is that all you got? Yeah.
But this particular time I was batting, and this guy was bowling the ball, so he was throwing the ball, right? And it was like nothing I've experienced before. He was throwing it really fast, and I was kind of struggling, and
he was giving it to
he
you
was
good,
really giving it to me, man. So he threw the ball, and in cricket, when you throw the ball, you run, so there's this momentum, and you take a few steps towards the batsman. So he took a few steps towards me, right? And he was like, "Guys, I'm gonna kill this Malaysian cunt." And I was
who were you playing against?
I'm playing against some club team there. So I went to
The
Brisbane.
locals, or?
Yeah, locals.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
So I was playing for a local club against a local club, and this guy bowled this ball to me, and he came up closer to me, and he was like, "Guys, I'm gonna kill this Malaysian cunt today," or something like that. And I was like, "What the hell is going on? Like, what am I doing here?" Like, kind of thing. But it turned out to be a good game. Like,
it is racist. It is racial. It is racial abuse.
right.
But I guess they're. And this sort of shit is actually not allowed at all in any of the any sports league or what.
Right,
You say this
yeah.
type of shit, you get fined, right?
Yeah, if you cross a line, you get fined. But I mean, there are instances where like a guy says, if there's a really fat guy batting, they'll say things like, "Hey, throw a Snickers bar at him, not a cricket bar." Things like
when
that.
it comes to fat shaming, that's a different story.
Oh, yeah.
It's not on a.
Racial kind of, like crossing the line, like
Let's
stepping.
say let's say EPL lah, okay, some
Right.
dude. Maybe one of the players is a bit tubby, and then the guy like makes fun of him. You won't get anything,
Yeah.
like literally nothing. But if you call that guy's a Asian fucker or Chinese cunt, right, you get fined, right?
Yeah.
I think they won't stand for that type of shit.
Yeah.
Not saying that fat shaming is okay.
Were you into AFL when you were in Australia?
No, bro.
You didn't get
not
into that?
at all, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, not at all, man. I'm not even going to pretend. I don't even understand how it works.
okay.
But I did what my only experience of AFL is every weekend when we're on the subway. It's not subway, just trains. It's the same as in the UK. Which part of the UK did you stay at?
Leicester.
Yeah, so Leicester City fans, or the away team fans, they'll be all on the trains, and then they're wearing the same shit in Australia. They'll be only for the weekend, during peak hours you will see them, and it's packed. But apart from that, no, I've never even been to a footy game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You understand footy?
I understand it all right, like at a basic level.
You went and check out a game?
Yeah, I've been to a game.
So how was it? Enjoyed it?
Amazing, man. The atmosphere is crazy good. Like Australians know how to have a good time, man.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
In terms of like talking shit and just having fun. No, really,
Yeah.
they are way more than Americans.
Yeah.
Right? They joke way more. Okay. You can compare to both Americans and British people. What's the
Right.
difference in your opinion?
British people are definitely know how to have a better time, I'd say.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe my time with Americans is not as much, probably.
Wait, Americans. I'm talking about Australians and
Australians and Australians, man. Australian.
Oh, you think so? Like friendlier or funnier? Or what do you mean?
I think more easily accepted. Because like I said, when I went to
Australians, right?
Australia, I didn't drink and all that sort of stuff. And drinking culture there is
Everything, bro.
insane.
It's everything to them, man.
And in cricket, bro, drinking culture is like hand in hand, It's like after a game, beers.
Every bro,
okay,
AFL,
right.
it's all the same.
Right.
They just get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my brother used to work in this is interesting. My brother used to work in the footy stadium, right? So during peak hours, it gets really busy.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is he had a colleague, right? His supervisor actually is just those let's say they're selling hot dogs or whatever. He's one of the waiters, right? One of the people working there. His supervisor was not autistic person, and it's not the super severe one, but it's also you can tell it's
Right.
autistic. But that's interesting, man. give an opportunity to him. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, but I spent a long time there, bro.
Right.
Yeah. I've said this before. Actually, yeah, I've told this story before. I had my buddy was on the tram. Sorry. Yeah, the tram, and he was with his girlfriend. These like, I think a group of maybe high schoolers, girls and guys, locals. They came up to my buddy and the girlfriend and started harassing them and like pushing them around. And one of them actually punched or hit my buddy's girlfriend in the eye, and then the glass went and cut her the side of her eye. So she went to the hospital that day. Nothing serious, fortunately. Yeah, but they were literally being racist.
Right.
Yeah, and this was younger kids. I would say the younger kids are really wild over there.
Yeah. Luckily, I mean, I've never had that experience.
Maybe. I mean, my buddy's girlfriend is a girl, and the people bullying the girl were girls, not the guys. Okay, guys also you have to be kind of even more fucked up to do something like that. Yeah, but teenagers, they're wild. Yeah, bro. Just now I wanted to tell you this. Wanted to tell you this one thing, dude. So you know what the KKK is?
KKK?
Yeah.
The Ku Klux Klan?
Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, white supremacists.
Right.
Basically, they believe in a superior race. Actually, very similar to the Germans in World War One.
Right.
I would think so, or something similar to that. So there was this guy right there, Daryl Davis. He's a jazz player. I think he's a teacher as well. But when he was really young, right, like something you told me just now, like reminded me of that. So he experienced when he was walking through a parade, right? There was some sort of parade going on, and he was a little kid, a black kid, and people just started throwing stones at him, and then he got hurt, and then he went back to his home, and the parents had explained to him that those were just racist people. There's no reason. So he felt so confused the whole time. Like how the question that came to mind was, how can someone possibly hate another person if they don't know the person at all? Because you're a kid, you don't know anything about racism. Dude, I used to teach in the kindergarten, right, in Australia. Actually, in Australia, it's really diverse. So I would say maybe because of that also they are so accustomed to the diversity that maybe that's the reason why racism is not. It's not as crazy as what people think, man. It's nothing like that. Yeah, but why I remember teaching in the kindergarten, right? Dude, they don't see colour one, dude. Kids don't know anything.
Yeah.
If they do see colour and you know where they learn it from, they're
home.
Yeah, home. Yeah, so you see like all like Indians, Africans, whatever, all just play with each other.
Right.
Yeah, so this boy, right, Daryl Davis, he was so confused. Like, how come people can hate a human can hate another human if he's never met that person or talked to the person before? So after that, he lived in one of the southern countries. I think Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. So he played jazz music, and then there was, a couple of times he met like KKK members. In the southern countries, I think it's more common over there. It's actually a very super niche already right now. Their population was, I think, maybe 100,000 at one point, KKK members. Now it's within like 10,000 or something. It's very diminished already. Yeah, so he was really curious his whole life, and then he was so curious that he wanted to speak with a KKK member and just ask them, just to understand. So he one day he sat in the bar, like a booth, right, one of the booths with this dude, and then started speaking to him, and then the guy said that he was a KKK member.
Wow.
And then the guy came up to him and said that this is my first time ever listening to a black jazz player that could play so well. I didn't know black people could play music so well. Okay, yeah, once again, it's a example of how art, music connects people. But yeah, he was just, shocked that a black person can play good music, which is very stupid for us who are not racist. We think that's very stupid to think that way. So that dude started explaining to him or wanted to talk more with him, understanding like why he thinks a certain way and all. And then eventually they became friends. It took a while, and then he would go over to his house, and then have dinner with his family and their family and all meet each other. Eventually, he got that KKK guy to introduce him to... No, sorry. Eventually, that KKK guy gave him his robe and said, like, he's done with this.
Oh, wow.
Because he realized, like, you know, once you take time to get to know people, you know, a lot of racism, of course, is... it comes down to a lot of to cultural differences.
Right.
Language is one big thing, but it wasn't for their case, right? So he gave him his robe and he retired being a KKK. So that guy, Daryl Davis, he asked him for contact to speak with the leaders, you know, of the KKK clans. So how the KKK clans work is maybe in this town there's one clan, or another town there's another clan.
Right.
They're not all in the same area.
Right.
Yeah, so they're all spread out. And then in one clan, maybe it's not big, bro, maybe 30. Some clans only have 12, 15 people. Maximum, they have 50 people.
Right.
It's small. So he managed to get in contact with a couple of the KKK leaders. And then he became this person where he started collecting KKK robes. You know, they handed over to him.
Wow.
Because he became friends with them. And,
Right.
you know, just through the power of spending time, bonding, understanding, and talking. Yeah. I just thought that was really
Wow, man, I
interesting.
would never... I mean, I know the KKK. I've never expected a story like this.
Have you listened? I'm sure you know Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan,
Yeah. Do you ever listen to any of his clips?
Some, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're interested, I listened to this guy on Joe Rogan. He came on and he
Oh,
told the
I
whole
see.
story and like, damn, man, this shit's interesting.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Daryl Davis, if you're interested, yeah, listen to that a couple of times, man.
Right.
All right, I think we're gonna wrap already.
Okay, bro.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you've listened up to this point, it's already been an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah. You know what to do. Leave a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tell me what you thought about this episode, suggestions, who you want to see on future episodes. Harinder Sekhon, guys. And thank you, Vishnu, for helping out the podcast. And we will see you in the next episode.
See you guys.
To my homies, I'm missing my oldies, my brothers, my cronies. We all went to court, but before only courts that we knew were the ones where we were shooting three, selling Kobe. To a legend, rest in peace to the old me, rest in peace to my brothers, rest in peace to my whole team. The oldest, I'm missing my shawty.